Well, welcome to another episode, Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I thank the Lord for being in the studio once again and being over here at UPTV, as we always do. I thank you that come up to us every week and say, hey, man, Sean, when you taping another program, man, I love your program. I thank you guys for that, man. It just give us good energy, good encouragement to keep on pressing our way. So thank you guys for being able to just encourage somebody to go a little bit further. Today I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio today with two good brothers that's always been in my team, man, and that's been helping me along the way, and I've been helping them, hopefully, along the way. So I got these brothers. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. To my right, introduce yourself.
I'm Tony Brown, live here in Champaign all my life. Just glad to be a part of the show today.
Yeah, and over here to my left.
And Teddy Kane, everybody knows me, been around town doing music, and just all over the world a little bit.
All right, man. Y'all gonna have to speak up a little bit, man.
Can you hear
Loosen
me?
up.
Can you hear me a little bit? Yeah, I know I get a little quiet.
Yeah,
man.
loosen up. Don't get fearful on me. Don't get
Yeah.
fearful on me. So one of the things I do a lot of community work, man, and I've been, I started out, as many of you guys know, I started out barbershop community work years ago, man, and I looked out my window my window at the barbershop, man, and started communicating with the people that were shopping with me, right? Mm-hmm. And so I started trying to get a feel for everybody, what's the temperament of the community? What is the community going through? And people would give me feedback. They would talk to me, and I wanted to bring Tony in, I wanted to bring you in, and I just wanted to be just a real conversation today about our community. So many times we fluff it up, we ignore it, or we even fall for the falsism of what the community going through. But I wanted a real conversation because we got folks out there that need real help.
Right.
And so I didn't want no fake conversation. I wanted a real conversation. I brought some real brothers in to give us the pulse of the city, because a lot of times when I'm in community work, a lot of folks that's trying to solve these issues, they ain't never been in the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They doing a textbook. They went to a college and some professor said community work like this, community work like that, and so they never seen the community and how it operates. And so I want to be able to just be able to give a backdrop and an input on what community look like. And so I thank the Lord for you brothers being able to be a part of this conversation. Man, y'all hold off on the phone calls because I know y'all want to try to get in this conversation, but hold off on the phone calls. I'll talk to you a little bit later on. Appreciate you just being patient with us. And so hold off on the phone calls so we can get this interview over with. But Tony, you tell me a little bit about your experience here in the community. You're a lifelong citizen of Champaign. You've been directly involved with our community. You know a lot of folk in the town. Tell me about your experience here in the Champaign-Urbana community and what you kind of been through, and tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I was listening to you just a minute ago, and one of the things is some of these people who's running these different programs and stuff, it's hard for them to reach out to the people that they need to reach out to because they don't even know the people, and by us being a part of the community, we can reach out to these young men because Sean know a lot of them, I know a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? But how you going to stop little Joe from carrying a gun when you don't even know him, So you don't even know who doing the shooting, but you running these programs and you saying that, they got to come to your office and sit down and talk to you. Them guys ain't coming to your office, So you'll never reach out to them. Then you have like these different functions, Sean, that they have, like Stop the Violence barbecue. Stop the Violence barbecue. The guy who doing the shooting don't want no barbecue. He eating lobster and steak. Mm-hmm. He got money, man. Mm-hmm. He ain't coming to your barbecue. Mm-hmm. So you got to have somebody that can reach out to these young mans and these, I ain't gonna say kids, they young mans, that's out here in these streets and try to reach them and give them a better mindset. But I'm going to say this one thing, that in order to change a man's mind, you got to change his heart, Sean. Mm-hmm. And if don't nothing never change here, ain't nothing going to change here.
And you know, and I always say the mind and the heart is the direct reflection.
Right.
They directly correlated. They directly reflect each other. So the way a man's mind and heart is, and we do. I mean, I always told my either whether if it's my TV program or my radio program, listening audience, that I'll stop talking about gun violence when we stop having gun violence.
Right. But see, one thing about it is, Sean, today is a new day, man. When I was a child and my mama was raising me, she lived a certain way, you see. And now today that I'm grown and I got kids, you know, when I was growing up, I lived a certain way. The world took a spin on me. And then now that my kids, now the world taking a spin on them.
Yeah.
And so you might slow this gun violence down, but you're not going to stop it, because this is what time it is. This is what time it is. This is what time it is. This is the time that we living in. The Bible speak of these days shall come. And everybody is trying to figure out what can they do to stop the violence. But it's already written in the book. But you don't want to know nothing about the book. But you're going all beyond this book. But it's already written in there what shall happen in these last and evil days. It's there. Now, brother, you want to take a look at it and acknowledge it, that's on you. But it's already been written. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this stuff, man, you're going to be able to slow it down, but I don't think you'll stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Teddy, what's your thoughts?
Man, you guys making a lot of great points. One big thing, major thing, I feel like you said you got to change the mind state.
Yeah.
The one way you get to that is to change the value, change a man's value.
Yeah.
What a lot of these young cats value, like you just said, they ain't worried about a barbecue.
No.
That's the last place they want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like most of these events, they got good intentions, but you hold an event, you bringing out the community. What you really bringing out is, and you put a name on there, you bringing out a bunch of people who
Ain't committing no crime.
ain't commit no crime. You might as well name it something else.
Yeah.
You put a community picnic or a community rally, because it's not to stop the violence. In a sense, it could stop future violence, because I think one problem that we got in the community, I grew up in this community as well, you know, most of my life, and this is a world problem, is detachment. We detach from each other.
Yeah.
I remember when I was growing up, man, I knew everybody as a kid. Me and my cousins, man, rode bikes and skateboards and knew everybody from Urbana to Champaign.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Teddy Kane. That the world have took a spin, man.
Yeah.
Either you gonna get with it or you gonna get ran over, bro. The world have took a spin, man. Kids don't even speak to you no more, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you go in the grocery store right now. If 5 people speak to you while you walk around that whole grocery store, I'll buy your groceries.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I noticed that when I first moved to Chicago a long time ago. Because, you know, back then, I was coming from a community where I knew everybody. Even if I didn't know you, I'm speaking, I'm waving my hand. I got there, man, if you speak to somebody, it's a problem.
What you speaking to me for? I don't know you.
And now, and I kind of took on the same, you know, mentality.
Right.
It ain't even a mentality. It's coming from a place like, man, what they own. Because you're so used to protecting yourself from it's just you. And you know, you protecting you and your circle. And I think that's the problem, man. We detached. I mean, the world is becoming that way. And it's like, and I wanted to ask you, like you said, you either get with it or get ran over. Now, how do we, so what do we do? Like, if we just get with that program, are we supposed to just throw our hands up and?
What I mean by get with it, Teddy, we're going to have to start working on the problem.
Okay,
we're going to have to reach the people, man.
Right.
We going all around the people because you scared a little 10 cent. Because he got a big old 9 on him. So you scared to talk to him. You ain't going down in the hood and talk to nobody because you don't know nobody down there. And you ain't going down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying, if you're not there to reach out to these people, see, I know little 10 Cent. I know him.
So
you know what I'm saying? So I can talk to him and relate to these guys, man, and find out, hey, man, what's the problem?
So,
you know?
let me go here, Tony.
Okay.
Since you say you know Lil 10 Cent, And I know Lil 10 Cent. Why hasn't Lil 10 Cent changed?
We haven't talked to Lil 10 Cent. You ain't caught up with him. You study riding by waving at him.
You know, I would say this. I think it's a bigger influence that's going on than even me or you.
Yeah.
It's a
It
bigger
is.
influence that's going on bigger than me and you. It's a bigger neglect that's going on, and it's bigger traumas that happen than what me and you. I don't got all day to spend with 10 Cent because I got my own life to live
Right,
in this
right,
hustle and bustle world.
Right.
I think that family structure's been broken, where that those influencers that should be in the family, they're missing now, or they're too busy, or they don't find enough value in Lil 10 Cent, even though he my sister's son.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really care about him, man. He won't listen to me. Let me move on. And even if that's your lineage, you know, don't the same people got your last name. I just think that we don't care like that no more.
Right.
It's
right.
got to a place where we don't care like that no more. And now we ask somebody else to come in and solve our issues. When we got to do a man in the mirror check, a family in the mirror check, or a community in the mirror check, because we'll ask the federal government to come in and give us some type of stimulus or some type of something to give us a pick 'em up, instead of us being able to look at our situation and know we going down the wrong pipe. Because if you going on problem after problem after problem, but you doing the same things, they call that insanity.
Yeah.
And Sean, like a pick 'em up, I feel like won't even help in the situation because if you don't know what to do with it,
Right.
you know, I mean, I mean, you just gonna go broke again.
But-
See,
But see, you got to get down to where the root of the problem is, man. It's just like a tree. If you don't take the root out, the tree gonna grow back. But you got to get to the root of the problem, man. You know, a lot of these guys is into it with different guys, this and that. But you can't tell Lil 10 Cent to put down his gun and this guy's still, you know, shooting at him or at him, you know what I'm saying? So you got to try to even it out on both sides, you know, and find out what the problem is, you know, and look into it. Like Sean say, it's a little deeper than us, you know what I'm saying? But see, this where I come in to say that the world have changed, you know what I'm saying? Because see, one thing about it, most of these people ain't working with no feelings of heart. You know what I'm saying? They ain't working with none, man. They ain't got no feelings for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where it come at. That's why I say a man heart must change. You know, until my heart changed, I didn't care neither.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And turn my life around, you know, and start doing something different.
Yeah.
I had a change of heart. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's what's gonna have to happen. But if you ain't got no love in your heart for people, then you just gonna do whatever the mind say do. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I think the problem lies at, Sean.
You know what? And I mean, I've heard, we've all talked about this before. It's kind of simple, but we dealing with a problem with
Multi-layers.
multi-layers, you know, and that's one layer. I mean, you know, you got to figure out the problems that we got initially and try to break them up and get them solved. But then you got to deal with, like you said, you got to get down to the root. And the root is this: everybody from everybody in the world, from babies on, want to be successful in what they want to be successful in. They want to win now, and they're gonna do their best to win with the tools and the knowledge that they have around them to get what they think success is. So what a problem we got is what success is being pushed to us. What success is, what our idea of success, our values, which our values lie in that, and the tools that we have surrounding us to get to them, and the knowledge that, you know. So therefore, I mean, if we all want a house, you know, if you can go out to the Amazon. Them guys gonna use whatever tools and what material they got to make their house. They doing the same thing we doing here. It's just they using what they got to get what they want, basically.
Right.
And so we got like 10 Cent. He ain't no different than David in Wall Street or something. It's just his tools and his values and what has been put in front of him. What he sees as success is just different.
And the amount of discipline. You know, how hungry are you to discipline yourself?
Yeah, that's
You know, the amount of discipline.
That's what
You know,
it's
change comes when you tired of being tired. You know, when you see yourself in a situation, and I reach out to take, you know, hey Tony, man, bro, can you help me? And a lot of times we don't. I know in the drug programs, I know in a lot of the drug programs, they say that you have to acknowledge that you got a problem yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
In all the drug programs,
Yeah.
and you got the knowledge. A lot of times, if you sitting around thinking that ain't nothing wrong, because everybody you hang around do the same thing, then you just in your mind, you cool.
Yeah, see, I come from how the kids is brung up in the home. You know, mama stuck on stupid, and daddy he parked on pitiful. You know, so you don't, you know, these kids is angry, man. They mad, man. You know, they don't have a chance to come up in a good home. You know what I'm saying, man? Half of the time we ain't even got cereal, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, they want new shoes, Jordan. Mama can't buy them because mama stuck on stupid. You see what I'm saying? And daddy, you know, daddy ain't no telling what he had. He parked on pitiful somewhere. You know, so, you know, these kids going through a lot, man.
Yeah.
You know,
And don't even realize that they creating the same cycle that they going through.
right.
They're having kids in that same situation. You know, it's a whole lot of problems, man. I mean, this same problem
You know,
is getting created.
You know, we're gonna get to some other things, but people get paid in your chaos. That's another problem.
Yeah.
Just because you going through don't mean ain't nobody getting paid.
Oh,
People
yeah.
get paid off your dysfunction.
Yeah.
The African American community is the biggest consumers in the United States of America, but we got the less money. We got we at the bottom of every statistic. It's no good statistic. It's no statistic out there that we at the top of,
Right.
unless we flip it around and say gun violence. We at the top of that. Unless we flip it around and say poverty, we're at the top of that. Unless we flip it around and say something dealing with health care, flip it around, we're at the top of that. But if we looked at it from the top down, we're at the bottom. And for us to be, you know, maybe 200 years out of slavery or whatever the case it is, or, you know, I mean, and let's say another 50, 60, 70, 80 years out of Jim Crow laws and all of these things that held us back. Right now, you got stuff at the push of a button. You don't have to go to University of Illinois to get no information. But because what you said, stuck on stupid
Yeah.
and parked on pitiful, because of that, you know, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a woman thinketh, so is she. They got us so bamboozled that we like chaos. We like it. We turn it on. We get on. We'll make sure that we at home in time enough to catch a program that's full of nothing but chaos. Because what we'll do is we'll rather see somebody on the Bluetooth in a worse shape than we are so we can look at them and say, I'm better than them. And I think a lot of our institutions have let us down in the African American community. A lot of our major institutions that we look up to, that we find value in, they don't know the information. They don't know that they've been used and abused to abuse us.
Yeah.
So as we learn more information, because me and you in some environments where we learning a lot of more information, economic information, to find out, man, we've been getting tricked.
Man, bro, it's so crazy, man, because it's some people who very, very, very smart who playing dumb. I mean, it's some kind of programming. It's something we being programmed, bro. And I'll tell you this. I mean, everything's programmed. It ain't a coincidence that you got these colorful candies and things in the aisle down where the kids can see them when you're walking through.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's everything in the world is
You
is
target it.
programmed. We're
You
programming
target it.
you targeted. So you got to think about this. Our kids are being programmed. We've been programmed forever through algorithms online. You know, in these social media platforms and different things. You've been targeted and programmed to fall into the way you dress, the way you talk. Everything is programmed into you. Man, it's just not a coincidence, man. I mean, we can look at the music change. I mean, just think about when you was young, the music you was listening to, how those rappers were dressing,
Yeah.
What was you spending your money on as far as tennis shoes? It was probably what the rapper had on. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the TV programs, you know, I'm sure you was eating. What you about to say?
Probably when TB, you know, I was a kid, and probably when TB, and they was listening to stuff, man, it was talking about love and happiness. And,
Man.
Yeah, but
and
everything
changes.
that kids is going through now, man. I've been there, man. I've done it, man. Everything that a man could think about doing, everything that a man could think about having, I don't have it, man. Money, cars, all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that stuff don't mean nothing, man.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
But you know, until it's just like the car that you drive. I don't care if you carry it to every shop in town, bro. They can't figure out what's wrong with that car. But I know one person that can, and that's the dealership, because they made the car. And it's the same way with the human body. I didn't believe it neither till it happened to me, bro. I had to go back to God, man. But I wasn't in no shape to go to God. So I had to go to somebody who had a connection with God, man. And that could free me, man. And he said, do you want to be free from drugs and alcohol? I said, yes, I do, with tears in my eyes, man. And he said, I'm going to pray for you. I didn't believe the preacher. He said, you come here for 7 days. And he gave me a special seat. He said, I want you to sit right here for 7 days. And he said, the whole time I'm preaching this sermon, I want you just every now and then to look up and say, Lord, have mercy. That's all I want you to do.
You know, the major thing you said was, and I was gonna ask you, I was gonna like what changed you, and it was what you wanted changed. But for the first time in your life, you did what TB wanted. You got rid of everything, all the program that you was living for everybody else. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When a child come out, man, he's smiling, he happy, and he wants love, right? And as he grows, the things that he sees somebody smile about. Everything when he grows, the child grows. He sees what he's praised for, and he begins to mold himself more and more into the things he's praised for. That's whether he acting bad, whether if he rapping a song like Lil Durk or what. And so as he begins to, you know, you evolve, you molding yourself into what the world wants you to be, the people around you, because you're really searching for love, and you forgetting about, and you're not searching for what you want and trying to find.
Yep.
And when you later on you got back to God, you got back to the basics.
Yeah,
You went back to where you left off before you started
one
getting
thing
off
about it, Teddy, is when garbage is in, garbage come out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all what you put in. See, all this stuff work through like spirits, man.
Yeah.
And you put garbage in you, man, that's all you got in you. So when you dump the garbage out, that's all that's coming out is garbage.
Yeah.
Ain't no sense of planting some collard greens and going over there looking for some corn, because you didn't plant corn.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's all how these kids is raised through the home and stuff like that. Because I got one nephew over here, I got one right here. This nephew right here reads 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? His parents don't let him drink #1 sugar drink a week. He's not sitting up drinking pop all day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But this kid over here doing everything. He packing guns and he doing this and that. He doing what he want to do. So you can see the difference in the kids. So it tells me that it's all who's raising the kids.
Yeah.
And most of these kids out here is raising their darn
That's
self.
right. That's right.
And they come home when they get ready, and half of the time, and let me tell you another thing, and then I'm gonna let you talk, man. But see, that doggone video game, that thing right there, have corrupt our kids. Messed them up right here. See, Section 8 messed our kids up, man.
Yeah.
Took the daddy out the home.
Yeah.
If you don't let him stay here, we'll pay your rent. So he raised by mama.
Yeah.
Now, when he get mad, he don't know how to fight like a man. He thinking like a female thing. You know what I'm saying? So he have this anger built up. All I know to do is to hurt you, kill you, or something like that, or cut you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more of this, man.
Yeah.
Man, you hit one of these kids with one of these, boy, you'll knock them straight out.
And I would even say we lost the art of really, man ain't supposed to just fight first. We think. We got to control our emotions,
but
and that's
Teddy,
what they lost.
Teddy.
When you take the man out, you when you had if you got a father in your home, you learn to control your emotions. You ain't finna go flying off the handle.
Yeah, but look,
You gonna
look at this,
if
Teddy.
it's something you want,
Look
you
at
gonna
this,
figure out how to
man.
do.
Look at this. You play a video game 20 hours out of day, man.
Promoting
They on
her.
this thing at 2 o'clock in the
Promoting
morning.
her.
Man, and then they got this thing that you could put on your eyes
Yeah, I see.
and make it look real.
Yeah,
And you could walk up and shoot somebody dead in the head.
man.
You know what I'm saying? He's shooting these
They
people and they look
practicing all day.
real.
And they tell you, and they telling us we need to stop gun violence.
Man.
And it's sold to kids.
Man.
Parents going to get it for the kids.
What you call it?
I call it a
simulate?
simulator.
Yeah,
I was in the
there you go.
military, and it was the helicopter pilots. They would practice on this before they actually get into a helicopter. It was a simulator, and this was back in the 80s. Now, just advance it all the way back to 2022. They probably got, the military got so much high tech stuff now. I mean, right now they could fly a drone over to Ukraine, Russia, and all that, and we never left the United States.
Man.
But see,
And see all troops, see what movement it is, all of that stuff, and drop a bomb.
Yeah.
And we never left the United States.
Man, so y'all was doing that then?
No, they doing it
Doing it
now.
now, yeah,
The
okay.
technology that we got, and the technology is not being used to advance us.
No.
It's one of the things about it, man, because of the greed, because it's all about greed, Tony. We've been exploited because of greed. And when we see it, we see the economic conversation because of greed. And we losing our patrioticism, we losing our individualism, we losing our communities, we losing our next generations because somebody at the top is greedy. And they don't, and what you said, it's the same spirit. It's the same spirit. You said these kids don't have a heart. What a person that got the money that's coming with this methodical way of thinking
You giving them
don't have the heart because you giving them the tools to be self-destructive and to destroy others. When you look at the kids in Uvalde, you look at the folks that got killed in Buffalo at a grocery store. You know, I mean, and then you look at the gun people that produce these arms. You know these weapons are used for military battle, but then you provide them to be flooded in the streets.
Yeah.
What does a young man have to have 100-round clip sold off the internet? But who is promoting that? Who's getting the money? I was listening to these the January 6th thing, the debate and all the different congressional hearings that they've been doing it. And what they've been talking about with Donald Trump and a bunch of this stuff is follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Well, at the end of the day, you follow the money, you'll find out where the root of the problem at. You follow the money.
But-
And when you follow the money, when you go back to Section 8, I'm going to let you get back here, Tony, but when you follow that to Section 8, they made the female independent. She independent. So everything in the household is hers. And if I do come over, it's an unauthorized visit because somebody else gave her money. It's an unauthorized visit. I'm not even supposed to be over there, even if they're my kids. I can't lay my head. I can come for a quick visit. But they made the male dependent
But I want to say this before I forget,
off the house, off the woman. So, you know, I mean, because for a long time we couldn't get, I mean, they, you know, with messing up with your driver's license, you couldn't get a driver's license. I was at the DMV this morning, bro. And this brother that I seen from Champaign, he was up in Rantoul, this brother I seen from Champaign. And he got his license, and he was kind of scared because of the test. He been driving, but he kind of scared of it. He probably could drive real good,
Yeah.
but because of the test. See, we don't have no think tank or somewhere where we teach you how to get back on your feet and show you how to pass this driver's license test. You got to do it on your own. So he had to do it on his own this morning. I said, bro, how you do? He said, man, I finally got him, Sean. And he finally did everything to get his driver's license back. And this brother probably had a driver's license probably not all his life. because he probably wasn't even in school for the behind the wheel. Because we'll put that brother up out of school because of his environment or because of his mistakes. I remember when I was going to school, and we talked about this, Teddy. It hurts us as black males because they'll start us out in the educational system, right? And they'll start you out with a smiley face or a frowny face. Now, they don't really know what my internal stuff I'm going through. So today, Sean got a frowny face. And you keep getting frowny faces, then you think that you substandard. So then you graduate a little bit, okay? You go to the next level. Then they start judging you A, B, C, D, and an F. Okay, A, B, C, D, and an F.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be A, B, C, D, E,
Yeah.
but they just skipped all the way down to the F, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so if you've been an F student for 3 years of high school, you feel like you substandard. You ain't adequate like the rest of your peers. So now you just check out. So that's what happened to a lot of us, and now we live substandard lifestyles.
Yeah. Where we checked out, not even checked in ever.
We never checked in. If my daddy checked out, my granddaddy checked out.
Yeah.
So we've been dependent. We ain't been independent. We've been dependent on something for a long time, whether it's that job I go to every day. I can't even mess up with them. Because if I mess up with them, then I ain't going to be able to feed everybody that's in this household or these kids or pay my child support or whatever the case it is. Because a lot of times it's all these different systems that put the pressure down on us. So I'm not going to just say it's one thing. It's a whole lot of things. And then when I go to my most intricate institution to help me, they get mad when I say this, but I'm going to keep it 100. Then I get taken advantage of even at the church. Even at that place where somebody tell me I have to give before God will love me and love on me and take care of me and put me back together.
Yeah.
That's the most valuable place we got in the black community. And that's why I get so upset.
When really you should, I was gonna say really they should be teaching you to take that 10% and invest it.
Ain't that something? It's a reason why we ain't together, man. Because everybody then took advantage and stripped us of everything, man. We don't even have a long history. I could talk to some of my Irish people. I could probably even talk to this brother over here. He probably could tell me about 3 or 4 generations of his family and where they come from. We can go on Ancestry.com and never even find out where we even start. That hurt. Because when I look at my Arabs and I look at some of these other brothers in the community and I talk to them, my Latinos, they could tell us their whole lineage. And I could tell by their interaction with the elderly people about the respect level. But I can tell by our people, man, we don't care about that.
Yeah, but see, one thing about it, Sean, is me, you, and the people of the community is the only people that's confused about what's going on. But the people who created this monster,
They know what time
they
it
know
is.
what time it is. See, they created this monster over 200 years ago, man, to turn against his own people, man. And now that he's on the loose and going crazy,
we gotta put
and he
him up.
hurting some of his people
We
too.
gotta put him up.
See, so they didn't intend for it to go that way. But he know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? This been going on, man, since I was a child, man. But see, my mama and my daddy raised us in the same house. But after I got to 18, 19 years old, I didn't see no more daddies in the house. You know what I'm saying? So this new generation is the mama doing everything.
Yeah.
Daddy at home playing video games. You see what I'm saying? Mama calling the shots of the house. She's saying what's gonna be and ain't gonna be. You see, I ain't saw Daddy. Daddy been gone 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But these kids need some kind of guidance.
Right.
So if you don't give your kids no guidance, little Ten Cent or little Joe out there, he gonna give them some guidance.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And he gonna show them love. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people all the time, you know, that family your family,
Go, keep going, keep going.
because of your family, man, you think that that's your family is not your blood. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because people is your blood, they ain't your family. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of mix-up come with that. You know what I'm saying? Even though Sean love on me, you know, Sean my family. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But family is love. Because people is your blood, that don't mean that they your family. Because you have people in your own family that don't even like you, bro.
And that's because, and you know why that is, Tony? Because we've been getting so many crumbs. We never even had a whole pie. You can push it down a little bit. We never had a whole pie.
Yeah.
And so when we do get a little crumb off the table, we don't think it's enough to share. So we don't want to share because, Tony, you might take a little bit more from me. And so now we done became competitive.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta judge my household or my car against your household or your car, my woman against your woman. You know, it's very few women out there that even get along with each other.
Yeah.
You don't see a bunch of women that stick with each other every day. They gonna come up with something to be mad at each other about. So now we can't come together. I was just telling them in another program that I was doing that even our educators, our most educated people, when they go off and they get in these fraternities, sororities, and all these things, they don't even like each other from the opposite fraternity or the opposite sorority.
Yeah.
But y'all the educated people. Y'all supposed to go grab information from one of these good educational institutions, and bring it back to the community.
Right.
And teach us how to be better people.
Right.
Teach us about love with an educational twist.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, you get the information to come back and take advantage of us
Or move to New
because
York
we don't,
with it, huh?
or take it somewhere else. You going to California, you doing your own thing. I'm living my best life, and you left. I always tell my people that moved out of town. I said, so it's good that you moved out of town. You went to Miami, or you went to Atlanta, or you went to Texas. It's good, but then you forgot something. You left your sisters and your sisters' kids. Your brothers and your brothers' kids. You left all your high school classmates. My president of my class reunion left here and didn't come back. I had to go to somebody else's class reunion that grade up from me. I had to go to their class reunion for the last few class reunions, cause he's directly responsible for rallying all the classmates together. But because he haven't done it, the other upper class of our friends, they say, hey, you guys just come to our class reunion.
Okay.
And that's what's happening with our people. We run off and forget all about, and try to forget about a problem. And the only time we come together, Tony, is when chaos happens. When some type of natural disaster or some type of disaster happened. George Floyd, we seen it. Katrina, we seen it. You know, we'll see it when we have a family tragedy. You know, mama died. So that brings everybody out the woodwork. We'll start packing bags because of that one deceased.
Yeah.
Then we'll come back and we'll try to be on our best behavior then. But like you said, that's only gonna last for so long because what's poured in gotta come out. Yeah. And we don't know how to grieve. So now we turn grieving into anger because nobody never taught us that.
Right.
So we go to the funeral, we mad.
Yeah.
So I always tell my staff, be careful how we deal with these people. Let's deal with these people real delicately.
Yeah.
We have to deal with them, especially depending on how violent the crime was that caused the deceased to be dead. Man, we got to be real delicate in how we love on people. And the only thing that break that whole cycle and the only thing that's going to win is what the Bible talks about. Love and kindness do I draw you near. Thank you, Jesus. Love and kindness. If we don't see no love and kindness, I don't care what you're going through. The reason why all the heroin addicts used to be cool with me and them gangbangers and stuff, because I didn't judge them. I loved on them no matter what stupor they was on. They can get, here go $1, man. Hey, here go some cigarettes, man. Go on ahead. My guys that had been out all night long and then they mindset, they in there hustling for their family, but really they were throwing bricks at the penitentiary. I would still let them come in and get them some rest on that couch at the barber shop, or wait on their haircut and get them some sleep. I'll leave them alone, man. He needs some rest, man. Because hurt people hurt people. And we got to be able to show some love to these folks,
Yeah.
you know, and give them ample opportunity for change. So when they do get themselves together, I'll go with this here and then we jump in here. So I forget what story in the Bible was, but I know it was the prodigal son.
Mm-hmm.
He was living high on the hog.
Mm-hmm.
His daddy was a king.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted his inheritance so he can go kick it. Man,
Yeah.
look, I'm tired of this, man. Let me get my inheritance, man.
Mm-hmm.
So daddy said, okay, Dig, man, you get it all right now. You get it while I'm living. Let me watch you mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
He watched him mess it up. He went and messed up so bad that he started eating with the swine. He started eating mess. He putting it in his mouth.
Yeah.
See, that's how messed up they got our mind is. We don't even know we killing each other. We think we doing good because we get some rims and a nice car and a nice house. And then he came to himself one day in the field. Man, I got a daddy. Let me go back. My daddy a king. And a lot of times when we go back to the crib, we hold you down to what you used to be. Don't you remember I gave you inheritance? Man, no, don't come back over here with that old this and this. We judge you instead of helping you. Once you done went through that, I can't hold you to what your past is. I got to judge you in your current situation to be able to see enough love in you for the future. And that's what we got to start doing as a people.
Yeah.
And then we got to be then set somewhere and got some fat on our head that I can give you some more tools to work without your toolbox. So a lot of times we can't give nobody what we don't have because we don't know no better. We ain't solved the issues within our trauma. So when we come down, when Teddy, you come to me, I say, Teddy, I said, look, man, I got stock market class, bro. Just come down here. Now, you could tell from the kids yesterday, I didn't really know even what I was doing. I just knew that it was something that was important that could probably change a life. Now we got some kids in there that the light bulb then went off. We got some adults, the light bulb then went off. But what we got to do is that we got to see that we got a problem. So that we can pause and change our mindsets because the Bible talks about the renewing of our minds. Because until you change this, you'll never change this. Until you care about yourself, a lot of these young cats don't even care if they live today or tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So if y'all don't care if I live today or tomorrow, how do I care if you live today or tomorrow?
Yeah.
I can't. So all this work that we doing and all this money that's given. So these programs, so what it does is that it's just you're throwing loose money to people. And then how do we feel like, when I was watching Senator Greasley years ago, and he was explaining how foundations work, right? And during that interview on 2020, he discovered and I found out only 0.5% of the actual money have to go to the actual problem. So you getting a super fraction of what actually was given. So if, let's say it was $20 million for the program, well, let's say a fraction of that, really, by law, $2,000 go toward feed the kids or get the kids some this or that. $2,000 out of $20 million, the rest of it go on staff. The rest of it go on research. So how is that gonna help? It's not gonna help.
But one thing
It's somebody to get a feel good to say, I tried to do something.
One thing I would like to know with these different, you more familiar with it than I am, Sean. These programs that they got around here, Stop the Violence and some other programs they got around here. But I would like to just look into and seeing what the work that they've been putting in, what have it solved? I mean, what is it doing? You know, how many guns they don't got off the street? How many people have they turned lives around and now he's doing this, he's doing that. I would like to look into that and see, you know.
You posed the question. I first started out with the Urban League. We do not have an Urban League in town.
Yeah.
The Urban League gave a statistic years ago that the black dollar stayed within the black community like 3 hours, and then it's out. So you get your check, you go cash your check, and you go take it to somebody else and spend it because we don't have any black businesses in our local community to even spend your money with. And the mindset ain't there to spend our money so that we can build a value up in our own economy, start building our own ecosystem. The second thing that I would say on that, I've been to a lot of community meetings, man. And we did a lot of talking. I've come to the place where I believe we like flirting with talking about a problem more than we like solving a problem. We like talking about the problem. We'll tell you everything wrong with you, but as far as some help, if you came to me and said, Teddy, look, man, Teddy, this is wrong with you, this wrong with you, this wrong with you. But as far as me investing my time, I ain't got time for that. Oh, I ain't throwing no dollars at that. You know, I done watched us build up, man, and I told the city council this before. You can build big buildings, but if you don't build big people with big hearts, it makes no difference, because they'll tear your building up. They'll come down and wreck your building. We see how our downtown look. We got security guards down there to help a struggling police department with a new police chief that got a big problem on his hand that we need handled in the city of Champaign and the city of Urbana. But across this country. Across this country, it ain't just a problem that's here, Tony. Check the pulse of the country. I looked at Indianapolis last week, and we trying to plan something to go to Indianapolis. But we ain't trying to go nowhere where it's a problem. But the problem is such an epidemic, it's in their downtown area, in their corridors. Memphis in May, corridors. Police get shot. Corridors, people can't have no fun. In their corridor areas where they having these outdoor events and they was used to having them, because gun violence is at an all-time high. Hatred. They just, in Idaho, a U-Haul truck was pulled over, and luckily somebody identified them at a hotel for a white supremacist group. Because of the temperament, I hate you because of the color of your skin. I hate you because of your lifestyle. That we finna go there and disrupt y'all protest or y'all fellowship, whatever you want to call it, because we'll use language to devalue what it really is. And I listened to the mayor of that city in Idaho last night, and these guys had shields, they had armor, they had armored gear on, they had protective gear on. All of this, 30 young folks. I think it was about 30. White supremacists from all over. They was from Illinois, Michigan, everywhere. So they on social media conversating. So, but what he did, he devalued who they really were. He said these are just some young guys out there misled.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing, Sean. They can have all the money they want to have, man. They can have all the programs they want to have, man. But until they involve God back in this stuff, they took prayer out to school, man. You know, nobody wants to hear about God. I didn't either. I didn't want to hear it neither until it happened to me, man. Until somebody prayed for me and I got free, man. I was stuck on stupid and parked on pitiful too, man. Until a man came to me and told me, he said, man, I'm going to go to God for you. And I'm going to pray for you, Tony. And he said, you won't have that problem no more. I didn't believe him, but day by day, one day at a time. And it happened, man. And I sit here today. I got 5 years clean, 4 days, and a few minutes, and a few seconds. You see, no drugs, no alcohol. Didn't know how I could do it, man. But a preacher came to me and told me. He said, man, I know that you need prayer, man. He said, I'm going to go to God. I wasn't in no shape to go to no God, man. I got a crack pipe in my pocket. How I'm going to God? He said, I'm going to pray for you. And he did, man. And I could have $1,000 in my pocket right now. And I don't think about 1 minute to get a dope man 1 dime of it. Man, I used to walk all night long. Couldn't even keep $5 in my pocket. Walk all night long, trying to find somewhere to spend it, man. You hear from the deacon. You hear from the pastor of the church. You hear from all the evangelists of the church. But listen to me. It's your boy, TB. God was man. He did it for me.
Let me ask you this question, because like things are changing, cycles. Now you older than me.
Yeah.
But you know, I still come from a background where I could get lost a little bit and come back to the foundation or the fundamental, the foundation that was we got now. That was the same with you, kind of, right? You had some good foundation put in you
Yeah.
to bring you back. For you was allowed to be able to come back to that. Now, what about we got a lot of youth, man, who never had
No,
that
no.
foundation.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't mean to cut you off, but you say come back to the foundation. That ain't what brought me back to the foundation. What brought me back to the foundation was death.
No,
Once I saw that valley and that darkness after I OD'd and fell out, man, and then I saw that dark tunnel and that bright light on one side, man. That's what brought me back. Sometimes something got to happen in order for you to straighten up, man.
I mean, you had a foundation. There was a foundation
Yeah,
before.
yeah. From my parents,
Yeah.
you saying?
So what I'm
Yeah,
saying now
okay.
is we got a lot of youth that brought up the foundation that they're being brought up on is you got man, it's babies out here, man. Who I mean out here, man, talking. You hear them, man. The things they talking about I don't see no help for them. So if they don't have nothing to come, that bring them back to what do they fall back to after they go through it and do a hard one time and I mean, like you said, we seeing these people without no heart, man. And I mean, and almost didn't start with one. I mean, from the beginning of learning, I know kids, man, get around weed and
Well, let
just
me
the
tell you
kicking
something.
They cussing like
Let me tell you something.
They
Let me
exposed
tell you
to-
something. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna show you something right here, man. A boy dog is born as a puppy, man. He knows how to raise his leg and pee. You don't teach him that. It's in his nature, man. A girl dog know what to do when she uses the bathroom. It's in her nature. Every person and human being is born. It's in his nature, man, to know right from wrong.
Right.
That's why they say it's no excuse being ignorant of the law. Because you know right from wrong. You see what I'm saying? So them coming back to the foundation, man, they ain't got to have no foundation. They know what they doing is wrong. And they know what to do, you know, to do the right thing, man. But do they choose to do it? No. But go back to like I told you, this is what time it is.
And Teddy, fix that cord for me. You can
Yeah.
use this, but you know what, Tony? I would say this. I think we started out in a rocket place because years ago, this man, I tell you why, Tony. I could travel all across the country, and in any major city, anywhere, I could travel. And this, when you go to any black community, man, you see more churches boarded up than a little bit. I could take you to the south side of Chicago, and it's more churches being boarded up because, and you know what, and it's going to continue because COVID reset us, right? COVID changed the game. We got social media, and I want all of my leaders out there, all my minister leaders out there to really realize this, because you got a tough job on your hands right now, okay? Because this is where our people look up to. This the go-to when we in chaos, okay? And the power of your mic and what you teaching your people. These younger folks don't find no value in what my grandmama found value in. They not coming to your building. You never took them to Sunday school. See, I grew up in church. I grew up at 12 years old trying to find out what the choir was doing and playing the drums and being a part of Pentecost and Tarian service and prayer service on a Monday night and traveling to go fellowship with another church and all that. So I'll go back, what you said, I'll go back to the root.
Yeah.
Every now and then. I'll go back to that. They never knew that.
Yeah.
They laying in the bed high on a Sunday morning. So now when grandma and granddad died, then mama start dying off, they don't see no value in your church to go to your building.
Yeah.
That's why social ministries are popping. Because I can stay at home and be laying in the bed and not put no clothes on. I can get ministry. So now you got to reevaluate the way you even market your product now.
Yeah.
Because your product, you gotta change up. Because I'm not gonna come to that place.
Right.
And that's what we fall. I think, like in our community right now, and I'm gonna say this in our community right now. I think we've kept our people so hoodwinked, and we have not stood up to give them value as a black community for so long that now the problem is starting to be an economic impact on the folks that's running the city.
Yeah.
Now you cutting in our money, man.
But I want to say this, Sean, though.
You messing up with the university, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 a student. Come on, man, you can't come over here and kill these U of I students and they got here to get an education. And I don't condone none of that.
Yeah.
But we have not been addressing it. We haven't found out and said, Tony, you know what, Tony? Man, look, bro, you're going to have to do something about your situation. Now, I'd mess with you directly back then when you was going through whatever you was going through. And we find so many things to find it funny. But it's many more that I didn't find that funny. And I'm trying to empower you. So when I see you doing what you doing now, it's all cheers.
Yeah.
It's all cheers. When I see you in that class now, doing what you're doing and making them moves and teaching this class, it's all cheers. But we don't like to cheer each other on and give each other enough value so that now you can be a living sacrifice of none but value.
Yeah, but they go back to you saying value. You know, who cares about that? You know what I'm saying?
Because you looked at it to a monetary standard, and I'm not talking about monetary standard.
Yeah, but I'm talking
about your integrity, your character, your loyalty.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all
I
of that too.
understand all that, but who cares though? These people now that you're dealing with don't care nothing about that. They don't care nothing about that. These young folks now, after our generation pass over, man, this world gonna be in big trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? We the only ones that got standards like that and care about stuff like that. These young kids don't care nothing about no values. They don't have them, man.
All we can do,
See what I'm
Tony,
saying?
is this. It's all we can do. This is all we can do, is be a living example.
Yeah, I try to do that.
This all we can do is be a living example and offer goods and services to these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Show them how to kick it. You know, we just did the backyard boogie down at the American
man,
Legion.
beautiful thing, man.
You know,
beautiful thing.
I took upon myself, I'm the commander down there right now until next month. I took upon myself to start DJing myself because I could, it's like cutting hair. I could tell a bad haircut a mile away. It's like DJing.
Hey,
I can
man.
tell the music that need to be played that's gonna bring our people together
Man, you
and
know-
calm them down.
You know, people call me, man. I don't got about 4 phone calls from that backyard boogie.
Yeah.
They said, man, that remind them of back in the day, man, wasn't no fighting, wasn't no clowning. You was playing. They said, man, you was playing good music. And I said, well, you know, it's good you said that because I be telling Sean all the time, he's a real good DJ, but he don't think so. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be trying to tell him. They like, man, he was hitting everything back to back and all them old schools. Then he'd come back up with a little new school, then drop back down to that old school. I said, yeah, Sean, good DJ, man. He one of the best, and he talks on the mic. See, where I come from back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying, on them
talked on the
DJ,
mic.
they talked on the mic. We talked to the crowd. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You come to a party, you know what I'm saying, you want to know how to rock the party, and Sean did a good job. And they said that was a beautiful thing at the backyard boogie, man. I mean, they said they ain't saw them many people at the backyard boogie. They said maybe they came because of the free food. I said, no, they didn't know it was no free food till they got there. Because we didn't put that online or nothing that we had free food for Sean's birthday. I didn't put that on there.
Yeah.
So they didn't know that. They knew it was Sean's birthday. We was going to celebrate it. But Sean well known in the community. So people come out to just, you know.
And I appreciate that love, man. I appreciate that love, man. I'm just here, a vessel in this community to be used, man. And I'm gonna try to get something for me and my family and to build our legacy. But at the same time, I'm gonna try to show somebody else how to get it too, man.
But-
And so, Tony, we gonna have to do a part 2, man.
But like you said, we need somewhere for these people to go, bro.
Yeah, we
need somewhere for
definitely
them to
need,
go, man.
and we need to
That's the
control
bottom
them.
line.
We need to control them by somebody that they respect, somebody.
Yeah.
And we had it going on when we had the club down there. We had some things going on, but because of COVID, things changed. Lack of support, a bunch of different things that we got to work on, a bunch of underlying issues, so that we can make stuff be successful.
Yeah,
and
man.
so we just need the larger community to be able to support us in our healing, right? And then work with the folks that you need to be working with. Stop working with folks that's gonna give the appearance of. Work with folks that's really in the trenches, really gonna get it done, can really go knock on that door and get some respect. So I thank you guys, man. Teddy, thank you, man. It's always good, bro.
Always.
Man,
All right.
Tony, thank you for
Yes,
pausing
sir.
your day.
Yep.
Director,
All right,
thank
Teddy.
you very much for taping this program. I thank you guys for pausing your day to watch another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. Peace.